we could get philosophical.
Don't we?
Philosophical Friday as opposed to Fun Friday.
Philosophy can be fun. We just don't
It
go
can?
into... Yeah.
Oh God, no! I had one philosophy class that I took, and I quit after 2 sessions because of the question that one individual asked, and the professor decided to entertain. I'm like, nope, I'm done. Like, this is too dark for me.
Oh yeah, like absolutely. Philosophy can get into serious dark or just, but philosophy. I go into philosophy of D&D all the time. That whole idea of
That's different.
Philosophy
That I can get into. That I'm totally here for.
Paint minis with awesome people in the chat.
That works for me. Hello, everybody. It's time for another Paint and Slate. It is Friday. I am Vee. Above me is Lauren, who's staying nice and hydrated. And today,
I've got 2.
I've got one. Well, 3/4 of one.
We can always get more.
Right. Exactly.
Everybody, let us know in chat what you're drinking while we do our intros.
God, too funny. So yeah, we are back. We are working on the Dark Spellcaster and Flameskulls from WizKids D&D Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures. We actually worked on these Flameskulls, a lot of it actually, last week. So we already have one of these guys done. This one's donezo. Okay, I already put it on the clear plastic base and everything. We can set. Yeah, this one's done. I didn't realize that. The name of the game today is, once we go through all the cool things happening in the game this week, we're going to be working on finishing up the Flameskull when we get to base work and working on the Dark Spellcaster herself. So that's the plan for today. But before we get into our lovely bits of darkness and undeadness, we have some things happening in the game right now. So what do you want to start off with first, Lauren? You want me to do the June theme?
It surprised me. Let's see how good I am at talking about the Health and Happiness Weekend. Yes. So if you have signed up for our newsletter, then you should be getting sometime in the next couple of hours our weekend newsletter talking about all the buffs that will happen to Celise, Kent, Virgil, Makos, and Brunor, aka Tutorial Dwarf, who we all love. They are all getting buffs this weekend for the Health and Happiness Weekend. I actually don't know why it's the Health and Happiness Weekend. I'm just excited to see 3 rivals.
I think it's because it's like June is wedding season.
And now the free gold bandit. Okay. I think
it's marriage.
We do have the first the first couple of Waterdeep, Kent and Virgil there. So that does make sense.
Here together today.
Today. Or we could go with do you? Yes. Do you? Yes. Good. You're married. Get her. Yes. Let us quote all of the old movies. All the old movies.
Let's not age ourselves, or let's completely do.
You know what? I'm just used to it by now. It's fine. Same. It's fine. I'm just old. As long as I try to keep up with things, I feel okay about being old. But anyway, you know what? You should be signed up for our newsletter, because once a week we send out the newsletter that tells you about not just the fun buffs that are happening this weekend, but you get a free gold chest. In this case, that gorgeous one right down there. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, do that in game, and you will immediately get one that gives you the code to unlock the champion hitch. And then we promise we send out one a week that always has a free thing. And we don't send you like 3 billion newsletters. We're not. No one wants that. No one gets that. One a week, maybe one every other month as an extra, but they always come with free stuff. So that's
important information. So.
And important information, but more importantly, free loot. What else we got?
We've got, this is probably good to talk about too, because we're working into our last weekend on this one.
Yeah. So it's fun to know about the champions that are going to be getting buffs this weekend, in case you have some last dragon down adventures that you want to finish up so that you can get gear for Esmeralda and do Graven Guard. And then you have the flex slots that you've been opening up. I've got Nova and Korth and someone else who I can't remember at the moment because I don't have the game open because I'm on stream. But anyway, that's what's going on with Dragon Down. You've got a couple more days. You basically got the weekend to go and get yourself all sorts of fun loot for them. But sorry, I'm also noticing in chat people are responding to, hey, what you drinking? There's a lot of people drinking black coffee, and I am impressed.
You get the right coffee, black is a beautiful thing. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like
We have
that's why
also
I can't wait
got
to get to Seattle, because there's a place I know. I know a
there's
place.
some
There's
pretty
some good
good
places.
coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
but Good Chillin' is talking about black coffee. X6777 black coffee. Infinite has vitamin powder poured into a bottle of water. Doesn't taste good, but here we are. Hey, listen, sometimes you got to do the healthy
You
thing.
gotta, yeah, you gotta do the good for
Yeah.
you stuff.
Uh, yeah. Oh, okay, yes. And
Another one.
then we are still in Wormslayer month, and the
Dun, dun,
new
dun.
skins for Korth and Nova just came out. And if you missed Idle Insights yesterday, where we had the pre-recorded interview with Kim Richards, who is the creator of Nova, she talked extensively about
Yeah.
the cool inspirations for Nova's Wormslayer outfit and dragons in Eastern mythologies and just all sorts of really fun things. Should definitely check that out. The VOD is going to be up on YouTube shortly, but you can also
Soon.
just go check it out on our Twitch channel because while the videos on Twitch go away after a couple of months, we don't gate anything behind a subscription because why? You should be able to
Yeah.
watch.
Yep.
But yeah, you can check those out in game right now. Maybe go pick those up, get a little last little buff for your weekend as you pick up some new skins.
Cool. All right. So I
What
think
else
that's
we
pretty
got?
much it. That's it. Outside of the whole
Okay.
Gabe and questions. Sorry.
Oh yes. So we have Gabe in chat who is grabbing questions for us about idle champions, about mini painting, about coffee. Sure. I live in Seattle. Ask me about coffee. Go ahead and put those in
Right.
chat with question in big capital letters for your question so that we know that that's something that Gabe should grab to go ahead and put into our little backstage document because these are small minis. They're tiny, and
Bitty.
eventually I'm going to be very focused on something real small and I don't want to miss your question.
Stop.
There. I think we're done.
Yes, and we have Rory making a sly appearance.
You say sly, like the cats don't do it on purpose at this
She's
point.
like
Like,
right here, and she's like, can I just, what if I just rub my chin on this arm that your camera's attached to? Is that gonna affect things?
mm-hmm.
Is that gonna do anything?
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
gonna be
so
fine.
focus today is this Dark Spellcaster. Again, this is from WizKids. It actually comes in the pack of 3 with the 2 Flameskulls and the 1 Dark Spellcaster. D&D Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures, primed ahead of time, so we don't need to worry about that step. We can just get right into painting. We're using the D&D Prismatic paints, also from WizKids, which are basically Vallejo paints that are thematically grouped together in both beginner and intermediate cases. They are super handy, super helpful, and the names are fun and connected to D&D. So
Yeah.
there. Pardon me.
So there.
I need this. Thank you. All right, so we're going to start off with doing the work our way out approach. So we're going to start doing the skin first before we get to the clothing and everything like that on this
Okay.
particular mini. Definitely you're going to want a detail brush because
Yeah, I've grabbed all of my tiniest
small
brushes for today.
Yes, good idea. So I'm going to break out one of my small little detail brushes. It's where did I get this one? Oh, it was in one of my Vallejo cases that I found over the weekend. That's how. So it's a Vallejo number 1, and round number 1, and we're going to start with dark flesh tone, and we're actually going to use dark flesh tone on flesh. I figured you'd be delighted by that little fact.
What?
I know, shocking.
That's not how that works. We've never used. Actually, have we used her? I don't know.
I don't think we have. We've used green flame. Wow, we have used the flame skull, green flame skull on the Flameskulls last week. So that was like, okay, cool. Now we're actually using dark flesh tone on flesh.
I feel like now we need to do a whole series of minis and where we're going to use the paint that is talked about in the mini on the mini. Like we're going to have to do a Behir and use Behir. We're going to have to do a Displacer Beast and use Displacer Beast.
True. Very true.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to water this down. Oof.
I'm dealing with the fun flashback that happens because these minis are so white right now. So bear with me, folks, because it's going to look a little funky for a little bit.
Hey, listen, some of us are used to being very white, so I'm used to it.
See what I'm painting.
All right, so we got face and arms.
Face and arms, and the legs are pretty much covered, but there is. She's showing a flirtatious Victorian knee. She's daring, darling.
How dare.
Right? How very
How
dare.
how very daring. Well,
I
I
need to
guess when
thin
you're a
my paint out a little bit.
spellcaster like that, you can show
You
off whatever
can,
you
yeah.
want. Who's going to say no to you?
I mean, that sounds like sort of a philosophy Miria would take.
Yeah. Let's see. I was just looking to see if any questions had come on through. So yeah, if you do have a question, this is why we're going to be doing I asked for you to submit those questions so that Gabe can grab them, because
Yeah.
otherwise I'm doing the tiny bits.
Doing the itty bitty living space work.
And then the irony being the next mini we're doing is going to be our biggest and
Sizable.
chunkiest yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so
So
excited.
I can show the scale of what that mini is going to be like. Not the mini itself today. I meant to grab the mini itself today, but then I went downstairs and I forgot. I put that mini back in the storage cabinet that I have.
Ah.
And in front
I
of that
can
storage cabinet, I have put all of the minis and terrain I am bringing with me to the castle on a table. So I have to remove all of the stuff from the table, shift the table over to open the door. But
yeah.
I have a dragon that WizKids literally just sent me this morning. That I can show off. That's going to be it's pretty much the same scale of what we will be painting.
And if
just to give people a sense of what we're working on.
Oh yeah, and if needs be, I got the dragon right over there.
Yeah.
It will take me all of 20 seconds. I gotta open a door and pull it out of the closet that's right over there. So yeah,
I just
we've
wanted
got
to show the scale
options
under the camera of like what it's gonna be, what we're working on size wise, essentially.
Yeah, the adult silver is, I mean, everyone knows that dragons are big. Even the young ones are big.
They're big.
And then it's only when in comparison to other minis do you realize, oh yeah,
it's a thing. It's absolutely
that
a
chunky
thing. Yes, and I think the mini they sent me, I don't even know if it's out yet. This is probably a pre-order situation. So you guys will get a glimpse of something before it's even out in the wild. How's that sound?
Ooh.
Yes. And this is why I'm starting with the skin first, because I already hiccuped on to something else that I can paint later.
Yeah, trying to be cautious around the spell effects to not get too much on there.
Yeah, luckily, if need be, that's a grab a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip or a tissue, and you can, or even a paintbrush itself.
Yeah.
And you can slip away the spots.
Rough Rider 1995 wants to know anything we should be prepared for on Monday. Awesomeness. Always.
Coolness. Good things.
Always.
Good things come to those who wait.
You should always be prepared for something on Monday. I mean, it's Monday. It's the start of a week.
Okay, so this is me and my sports ballness. What's Monday Madness connected to? That's basketball?
I think it's basketball. Help us, chat. Help us with sports.
I was going to say, we could say Monday Madness, but that's already been taken. I was going to say, but I don't know what it's taken by.
Oh, yeah, it's March Madness.
March Madness, that's
But it is basketball,
told you, sports ball.
I used to know a lot more just in general about sports ball before when cable was still the only way to watch TV.
Yeah. Now that I don't have to watch it, I don't seek it out. So I'm kind of like, loopity-doop. Monday Night Football. That could be another. I think I just smushed football and basketball together.
Yeah. I mean, you had me. I was just like, yeah, Monday Madness. Absolutely.
Yep, I'm like, and now Keys. Do you, basketball, take football to be your lawfully wedded partner? Cool!
Would you like to take over Mondays? Good.
Monday Madness. You're set.
I mean, there is Jason Charles Miller who does Miller's Music Mondays, which is the evening show that he does, and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, highly recommend those.
Did I? I think I did.
You know, I thought I got everything, and then there's a thumb.
Yep. Hackachuk wants to know,
Hmm.
which I think this is actually a good thing to clarify because for our new people, are your Vallejo brushes by or named for Boris Vallejo?
That's a
Is
question for
Vallejo
the
the name of a
company.
is it the name of a person?
It's, I believe the family's name is Vallejo, is what it is. The people who started, it's a Spanish-based company.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think
Don't,
it's the family last name, Vallejo. Boris,
I
I'm
mean, it
not sure
might
about.
be.
I would have to look that up.
Yeah.
I haven't worked personally for Vallejo. I've worked with Vallejo, so I don't really know their company backstory.
But at the very least, we know that it is they're Vallejo because that's the
It's the
name of
family name.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
the name of the family. So we don't know if there is a Boris.
Mm-hmm.
Boris and Natasha. No, that's Russian.
No.
Boris. So yeah, might be
Yeah.
the history of Vallejo.
That's a hey chat.
Who wants? Oh, Boris Vallejo is a huge fantasy artist.
Yes.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if
Perhaps there's some
one of the
connection.
people in the company, in that family, is Boris Vallejo, who is an artist, and then you get a family into making stuff for, they're minis, but still
Right.
painting. So
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, see, that's what I was wondering what Gargle994 just said. It's not exactly an uncommon name. I went to high school with another Vallejo, so.
ah,
So, yes, I'm going to have to research this after I'm not holding a mini. No, you can't preview his art in here, Rough Rider. Not possible. Links cannot be dropped.
yeah. Anyway, we got enough
So,
art going on
we've got
right
got
here.
front and
All
center.
of this.
Hello.
We did so much work to
We
get,
just
and by we, I
this.
mean Vee, did so much work to get this year.
Ta-da! All right, so we have that dark flesh tone on there, and then what we're gonna do, and we want to give this a second to dry. So I'm actually gonna show you that dragon I was just talking about, just to give everyone a sense of scale. So again, I just got this morning from WizKids. There's no paper in the box, so I don't know if I can't show this yet or not. Mea culpa if I wasn't supposed to, but they sent it to me anyways. This is the adult crystal dragon, which is about the same scale as the adult silver dragon that we're going to be painting.
Yeah.
So,
That's
she
a cool
big.
mini. It is such a
Oh, she big. So let me get this out.
chunky.
I don't know why, but I love the chunky dragons. Like, give me a chunker.
Listen, you're not the only one. How many people fell in love with Thunderchard from the movie?
Right?
Just
And the
like
Chardon?
literally, we know nothing about this dragon. We know nothing about their personality. They don't speak a word. They don't do anything. They're just big roly-poly, and people love them.
So, this is the camera needs to do some fun work here. Hold on one moment, please. We're just going to do a slight zoom out. There we go. Now you can actually...
Very nice.
So we're working on a dragon this scale. And when I say this scale, this was the mini I was just holding.
Yeah. And the silver might actually be even a bit bigger.
I think
than
the
that
silver
now that
has a
I'm
bigger
looking.
wingspan. So it's got the same size
Yep.
body, but the wingspan is even more open. So we have a little bit more real estate to work with for the silver dragon. But to give you a sense of what we normally do and what the summer's going to be in terms of scale, that's a pretty good way to establish that for you.
Yep.
So yeah, and if you're interested, this is the adult crystal dragon, WizKids, D&D Nolzur's Marvelous, no, D&D Icons of the Realm. That's what we want. So it comes pre-painted, everything like that. And yeah, this is actually, honestly, you're seeing me like react to it the first time. Oh, ooh.
Those wings are cool.
Look at the texture in this sucker.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm liking this one. This is nice. This is a nice one. I'm liking it. It feels like almost like when you crack open a Geo. It's
Which
got
makes
that
sense
texture
for
vibe.
Crystal Dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't even notice the tail.
Yeah, look at that. It's like it's got a pronged thing. It's got a double tail thing going on.
Yeah.
How cool is this?
That's very cool.
I like it. I like
so for
it.
wondering, we've been excited about doing painting a big dragon for a while, and this summer is the perfect time because there's a couple weeks in a row and where we have an episode and then we're off, and then we have an episode and we're off for a variety of reasons.
Many
For
reasons.
example, the first one is actually the July 4th weekend that's coming up in America. So the dragon is kind of the perfect time to do as a summer project, because there's going to be times in where we're going to say, okay, next week, here's your homework. We're not going to be on, but go ahead and finish painting this giant thing with this color, because no one wants to spend 2 hours watching.
Old.
Yeah.
So
we'll be on and off and on and off and on.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the little one.
Back to the wee miss, and I don't mean Lori. Where did I just pop the zoomerific? There you are. Now that I can zoom in a little bit more. Oh, there she be. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go back into actually doing some dry brush work on this. In fact, I'm going to leave that right there so I can keep toggling the focus of the camera. We're going to take Rust Monster and not the Umber Wash. I want the Dried Blood. There we go. Rust Monster and Dried Blood. We're going to tint Rust Monster with the... That sounds wrong. Rust Monster tinted with Dry Blood to darken it up a touch. And then we're going to dry brush this onto the face to help bring out the features. And then that way, when it comes time to painting the rest of this mini, we don't have to work around being careful around the face and everything like that. Which is why we're doing it in this order.
Rust Monster with a tiny bit of Dried Blood. That order?
Yes. So it's going to create a warmer medium brown as opposed to this light brown that Rust Monster is. Actually. Uh-oh.
My Dried Blood is coagulated. I'm just going to reach over here and get a pin. I mean, how could I not make the joke?
I've been watching way too much True Blood, because that's like another thing they talk about on that show is coagulation. My brain just went like right into the theme song.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. So let me just do a color swatch so you can see the difference between what we originally put on and what we're dry brushing on. So this is dark flesh tone right here, and that is the mix we just created.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Did I get on me? I did not get on me.
Oh no.
Good. It splattered, but it also, and how ironic would it have been if I'd splattered Dried Blood all over myself. Okay. I mean,
it's a cause for concern.
It is. It is definitely a cause for concern. But nope, we're all okay. I did not get on my shirt. Because let me tell you, I love my dragon pride shirt. And
that's too nice to get dried blood splattered. Although, how appropriate that a dragon shirt would have dried blood splattered on it.
It's true, but not the pride one. But
not the pride one. That's true.
I'm telling you, if I'd gotten on this shirt, I'd be like, I will be back in 3 minutes.
1 moment,
changing
please.
this shirt.
Yes.
Yep.
No, absolutely makes sense to me. Hold on, let me just check something really quick. Did I?
Okay, let's just make sure I'm not going to accidentally.
So I'm going to go through and I'm going to pull this pigment down from top across the face. So you can see that. What happened?
I happened to look over at chat and saw Gargoyle 1994 CSI D&D. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Well, now that we've had that.
Now that you've had that exciting little jaunt.
I will count it as a win that did not actually splatter on me.
Right?
Okay. Dry brush the face.
Dry brush the face, dry brush the arms. Can kind of get into, well, yeah, I mean, we're going to be painting over it. So if you want to try and catch a little bit of the knee, go for it. But that will pop your features out just a little bit. No, come on. There we go. All right, so that takes care of the flesh. Sounds horrible, but that takes care of the flesh.
I mean, it's an accurate statement.
Yep. All right. So keep, just an FYI, keep your dried blood out. I know that sounds horrible.
I mean, I've got plenty on the plate now.
There you go. Because now we're going to move on to the hair. So the hair we're going to paint straight up black first. But that's once you have a chance to catch up, because I know you've been doing the cleanup stuff.
Yep, I'm almost there.
Oh, I'm going to say a question right now. So, Guccilini, question for the prismatic paint kits. Do you need both kits, or can you get away with one or the other in the beginning? You could do one or the other in the beginning for yourself personally. However, if you're doing stuff with us in this particular show format, I pull from both cases. So you'll find there are times I say, and then go use this color, and that color won't be in the one kit. But you know, it's a general good starting off point. You can definitely do some things. You may find there's not as many certain colors between them. More of one and the other type of situation. So just a heads up on that one. It's just, you know, take a look and see which case seems to have a variety that you feel comfortable starting with.
And Rough Rider wanted to know, I know the answer to this, but I think it's kind of funny. Would Vee paint Sean's 3D printed Tarrasque if he asked really, really nicely? I think I'm not going to speak for Vee, but I'm going to say if Sean has 3D printed a Tarrasque, I think Sean should have the joy.
Paint that. Yes.
Yeah, like that sounds like a lot of fun.
That's
also,
a Sean project.
Yeah. Is this black, just straight black?
Straight up black.
Okay.
Straight up, now tell me.
Cool.
Yep. Again, sticking with the detail brush. And then just working this onto the mini.
I mean, frankly, there's not going to be much that's going to need a brush bigger than a detail brush today. I'd imagine.
That's just it. And like when we start working on that dragon, that's going to be hysterical. It's like, just get a brush that works.
Just what's your biggest brush?
Right.
Which is great, because I got a couple of real big brushes that I've rarely, if ever, used because we just haven't needed anything that big.
Mm-hmm. Now there is a diadem on the head here, so I'm going to try and edge around it as best as I can.
Okay.
Just to help remind me that there is a diadem on the head and not forget it. So I'm kind of just running the paintbrush along the sides of that and then pulling the paint down the length of the hair.
Well, Rough Rider says, I think he wants it done well. Now, that's very nice to say that Vee, because Vee is an amazing mini painter. But yeah, I feel like here's the good thing about being able to 3D print those kind of minis. You can just, I'm going to say this and it's reductive, and I understand it's not quite this easy, but you can just print another. So I like the idea of being able to print out a Tarrasque and learning how to do mini painting with it. And then once you're done, being like, okay, now that I have more skills under my belt, let's print round 2 and let's do it again. You know, like that's a that is a neat option that you can have when you're printing your own minis. I have seen this isn't a 3D printed. I know WizKids has a Tarrasque out that you can a Marvelous Miniatures Nolzers.
Yes.
That you can paint. And I have seen the size of that.
It's a good size maxi.
Yeah. I honestly I saw it at my friendly local game store, Mox, and it was on sale. And there was like the briefest of moments where where my partner and I were looking at it. And to be honest, I actually said no, not because it would have been very cool to have, but when I was thinking over painting the Tarrasque, I'm like, it's not a lot of color variance on that thing. And I know that it would be kind of in a way like the dragon, and where there will be a lot of shading and all sorts of cool things, but like the Tarrasque is pretty, not just monochromatic, but brown. Like brown. Yeah, that was the other thing. Like, it's one thing to paint a dragon that's this bright silver and it's going to be you know, all these different shades of this really cool,
Right.
outstanding color. The Tarrasque is dirt.
Yeah, it doesn't have much color variation to it, which actually is all the more reason why Sean really could paint it for himself. And I'm happy to jump in and give him tips because it's a large mini. It's a more focused color palette. Notice I'm not saying basic. It's a more focused color palette, and it'd be a good chance for him to learn on a larger scale how to bring out features and details, etc., etc.
Yeah. And brush technique.
Exactly.
Because I mean that's still something I'm learning, but definitely
Yeah.
having the uh just painting things with the brush with the mini and learning how to hold it in your hands and learning all the little tricks with like a giant mini that's going to be fairly forgiving. That
Yep.
sounds like fun. And getting under the hair, which is a weird
It's
thing to
tricky.
say. Yeah.
It's just a wee bit
Yeah,
tricky here.
she
Yes,
you know
Aurora,
how
hi.
there's like the cloak of billowing or there's the
Mm-hmm.
joke about like epic people on stage that
Oh, yeah,
constantly have a
yep,
fan so that their hair
yep,
blows back. This spellcaster has that going on for those that don't
right?
know, and so you got to get under the bob.
It's also, I'm like, let's do this hair first because it'll be easier to take care of the cloak once the hair is painted.
Yeah.
Because the cloak, you can do a downward pull in the approach, whereas the hair, you have to get in all these different angles.
Yeah.
Is that a wet spot or is that white? I've hit that part of black. Hi,
And the
Rora.
answer is probably.
Answer is yep. The answer is yep. Now you can move this spell effect out of the way gently with your thumb if that helps.
Yep.
Sorry, getting quiet because I'm trying to concentrate and someone is furry and headbutting me.
Also, I'm gonna check because I got a couple people in chat saying that
Hmm?
their game is.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Let's see if I can. Too many requests. Chill should be fixed. Yep. Looks like the crew is aware that there's some
Okay.
server congestion. My suggestion to all of you who are currently watching. Also, thank you for watching.
Yes.
If you're having trouble connecting to the game, and yes, we know that there is an issue, go ahead and close it. Give it like 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, and try again.
Yeah.
Because like if you keep trying and trying and trying, not only won't it work, but it'll also just be more pinging the server. So, but I'll keep an eye out for when we get.
Yeah.
Yeah, put that over there. Do, do, do.
Do, do, do.
The congestion suggestion.
What's going on here? This is bugging
Yep.
me.
You know, sometimes servers get upset, and so it happens.
Yes.
Yay!
Sometimes it becomes a thing.
Okay, what's next?
Next is we want this to dry a little bit. Because like we just did with the skin, I want to get the dry brushing on the hair done before we start getting into the clothes.
Okay.
So we avoid carryover. Carry
Do
on
we
my wayward color.
do we want to do the base of the
No,
flame skull?
because
There we go. Words.
No, because we're gonna do that with the base of the this mini itself. So
Oh, okay.
let me see here. Can we get to that part? Could we? Okay, we could do that. We can paint the dress scarlet red.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So you have on this, you have a skirt. There's a corset over the skirt. And so it's gonna basically like this little bit of the bodice is going to be scarlet red along with the skirt itself.
I think I forgot to pull scarlet red.
That's okay. Here. Scarlet. Miss Scarlet.
I can show off the prismatic paint.
There you go.
One of them anyway.
One of them, yeah.
Scarlet red. Where are you hiding at?
Ooh,
Nope, that's
man, this is ready to start coming out. Jeez Louise.
Scarlet red. There we go.
Miss Scarlet.
Legendary Ninetales. Yeah, it happens. It sometimes happens. The other thing you can do if you're ever having a problem connecting and you want to verify, is it me? Is it something else going on? You can always go to our Discord. Here, I'll put it in chat.
Yep.
Discord. Discord.gg/idle champions. Because trust me, there will be folks on the Discord who are like, I am what is going on? And that way you can know, because that is totally an understandable frustration of like, is it me or is it not me? And then my apologies. Would you repeat where we're putting the scarlet red?
It's going on. There's this upper portion above the corset that we need to paint in. So the the bust area. So a little bit goes there, and then it's also the skirt.
Okay. Cool. Yep, and I see the devs are
already on top of things.
Yep, I'm watching as they're like, yeah, would you tell the Discord that we're looking into stuff? So the Discord is probably also going, is it me?
Right. So we're taking care of the streams.
Else?
We've got the stream part covered, and Sean can take care of the Discord side of it.
Yeah. So I will try to let you all know as soon as I hear back if things are better. So that way you're not having to like constantly retry. You can just let it sit, let it stew, let the devs make their magic happen, and I'll let you know when things are up and running again. And meanwhile, I'm gonna try to not get scarlet red all over this arm. Okay.
That would be wise.
Yeah.
My next question is can we manipulate the... Oh, we might be able to slightly manipulate the cape away from the back of the dress. Ever so gently.
And so scarlet red through all of the ruffles of this skirt.
The ruffles of the skirt, exactly, yeah.
This is a multi-layered skirt for sure.
It is. It's one of those fun stacked skirts. So I'm just treating it all as one cohesive fabric.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm taking my detail brush and I'm first working around where the corset is. And then I'm going to switch to a slightly larger round brush because with the texture of this skirt, if I try and do a detail brush this whole thing around, no, that won't be fun. I know better than to do that for myself.
Trimtius, yeah, unfortunately the servers are just upset for the moment. The crew is working on it. The devs are that we have top people on the job. Top people. But yep, just the servers are down for a second, so hang out with us. Hang out with us and tell us how your day's been, what you got planned for the weekend, what you if you are also painting a mini, what mini are you working on? If not this one, maybe a different one. And I will do my best. If you see me looking over here on a regular basis, that's just me looking for the updates.
Meanwhile, if you see me looking over here often, it's because Rory is staring me down.
Of course.
Because she do.
Yep.
She just turned her head like, how dare you talk about me like that, mother? That was funny.
The cats know. They always know. They've gotten into the habit. It's going to be funny during the summer when we're off again, on again, off again, on again, and the cats are going to be very, very confused.
Like, mother. Well, no, because what I decided, for one of the ones where it's like, you won't be here with Gen Con. I'm like, well, heck, I'm going to use that same time to keep painting the dragon.
That makes sense.
For them, they'll be like, oh, she's painting again. And the other times, I won't be here.
So you won't have to worry. So the cats will be like, what?
It'll work out. Yeah, it'll work out in the wash.
What is going on?
Yeah. Okay, something is weird about the bristles on this brush. I don't know what's going on. I'm changing to a different little brush.
Yeah. I really like this skirt.
It's a fun... I actually have a skirt similar to this, but it's like gray and white striped. But it does this cool like gathering thing. I
I
like
don't
it.
know if I would look good in a skirt like this, but I would love to try.
You don't know until you try, right?
And that is the ultimate truth. Because yeah, as pretty as this is, not everything looks good in every body type. Let's see. Yeah, for those that might be a little more new to our game, who are wondering what's going on, as far as like all of a sudden cannot play the game. So our dev team are on top of things. Best thing to do is just kind of hang out, leave the game off for the moment
Yeah.
because it can be frustrating to try to log in and get the game going and then have it just sit there. So I promise as soon as I see that the devs have said the go,
Yeah.
I'll give you all the good word. I'm trying to look.
I'm making a funny face because I can't see where I'm painting and I'm guesstimating.
No, that's okay. I'm also watching where you are painting because I think I had the corset stopping a little lower than expected or
It
than does.
stops just
So
at the curve of the top of the hip.
yeah, I had it. I think um just some of the lines of
Mm-hmm.
the skirt and the corset made me stop a little bit lower. So
Yeah.
now I'm catching up.
That's okay.
Had to do a little
Not
bit
to
more.
worry. Very worst case scenario, we just finish her up beginning of next episode and then we jump into the dragon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's not a bad worst case scenario, to be quite honest.
Yeah, like always. We're doing this for fun. We're doing
Yep.
this for entertainment.
Let me entertain
Nerwen says,
you.
if the game is still running for you, should you stop it? If it's running, I say let it
Yeah, you
continue to
should be
run.
okay.
It might not be all servers. It might just be some. It could be that you're on because we have multiple because
We
there's a
do.
lot of people who play this game. So I'd say if you're getting that weird trying to connect thing and the game isn't doing anything, go ahead and shut down. If your game is still working fine, then go ahead and continue.
I'm going to take this off the base holder. Dang it. Yep. That's the thing to keep in
Okay.
mind with small mini paintings. Sometimes you have to turn them at the oddest of angles to keep them moving
Yeah.
and reach all the spots.
In fact, I may follow your lead on that.
Yeah, there was just no way I was going to get to the angle I needed to with the holder in the way. This dress has a lot of texture to it too in the skirt, so. Hello! Dunkelkrieger? 506?
There we go.
Yep.
Welcome. In Germany, where it is already well into the weekend.
Lucky.
So the funny thing about being about keeping an eye on the devs talking about issues with the servers, it, that is technical knowledge that I do not possess. So I basically am just keeping an eye for when the people who are very knowledgeable about that kind of stuff say, "Hey, it's fixed." But of course, that is also a place in where they're talking about doing the fixing. So every once in a while, I see a message come up and where they're, and then I read and I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about. This might as well be a different language.
Right. Okay, so we're going to let the red dry and we're going to go back to the hair. And we're going to take Elf Skin Tone, tint it with some black, and we're going to dry brush that onto the hair. We're going to do some fun stuff with this hair. I apparently decided to get creative. Still have some black left. Apparently my elf skin tone just wants to blow bubbles.
How dare. Just a little bit of black.
I'm gonna just like dip my brush into the black and then bring it over to the Elphic, and then I'll show you a swatch of the color we're going for.
Okay. Yeah, because I know a little bit of black goes a very long way.
It does. Okay, here we go. So it's going to be like this warm gray that we're creating.
Oh, okay. Yeah, much.
Yeah. But you'll
A
see why.
little bit more.
And once you get that kind of blended, it's going to be just dry brushing carefully around the hair to bring out the texture here.
There we go. I think I had more Elphic flesh on there than I was expecting.
Not a problem, though.
Rainbow Rabbit 2077 says 3D printing destroys the fun of DIY. I say it destroys it. I think
it's a different type of art, quite frankly. It's a different
exactly.
artistry involved because I've built myself, I've sculpted myself, but I also have friends who do 3D printing, and seeing what they put into it. Everyone works in different ways. Everyone's hands and brains work in different ways artistically. So there is artistry to 3D printing and creating those STL files and building up the figures and forming them and figuring out where you need to put those supports, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So it's they're both art forms. I'm definitely gonna say here, let's not turn one against the other because, quite frankly, both are needed.
And especially like there's a lot of minis out there or there's a lot of creatures out there, especially for a game with as many supplements as D&D, and where there are no official minis. And so being able to create or print your own is super cool. Or I have a friend who is a 3D printer who is actually the DM for the game that I'm going to be in tonight. Although, ironically enough, we play online, even though we all live in the area, but we all live like 45 minutes away from each other. So it's easier to play online and then every once in a while get together. And yeah, he is really good at grabbing STL files for minis and then doing slight alterations to them to get the thing that he wants. For example, like something as simple as taking a wall and having it turned a different way.
Yep.
Can be real cool.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so the hair should look something like this when you're done, almost like she's gone gray, but she's not going to be gray. Because what we're going to do is go back to dried blood and we're going to tint this. So we'll have this really pretty, like mahogany, dark brown color hair almost because of it.
Okay.
But if yours is coagulating, it's actually going to be sort of a glaze on top. Because my dried blood isn't coagulated. It's actually almost like a wash.
Oh, I'm definitely going to have to add some
yours
butter.
Is going to need to get thinned out because look at that's what my dried blood is. Like it's very thin.
Nope, mine was okay. Much thicker than that. So
why are you wet?
Let's see.
Put the head down, girly.
Oh yeah, Legendary 9 Cells says, I know a couple of people are talking about this, about you can build really large pieces modularly. That word that apparently my brain doesn't want to say. And I know a bunch of y'all were talking about that earlier because with Sean's mini of the Tarrasque, that's a huge mini, and so doing it in multiple parts is definitely useful.
Yeah.
And we've talked before, although it's not necessarily a viable thing for this show, but we've talked about when WizKids came out with the Tiamat mini.
Right.
That the Tiamat mini.
It's not a
that
mini.
Is, mini in quotes. That is the Nolzur's Marvelous miniatures, so you can paint it yourself, and how much fun that would be, and how I think the way I would have the most fun would be, I think you'd have to do it modularly. I think you would have to do like,
In sections, yeah.
yeah, today I am doing the redhead. Today I am doing the whitehead, that kind of thing.
Yep.
The Mega Mini, yeah. Is that where the term maxi came from? Are those
That's
big
something.
maxis, those big minis?
Maxi came around, at least in my circle. It came around when I was starting to unbox these larger dragons, and myself and the WizKids chat were joking around how that's not a mini, and someone said that's a maxi, and then we just started calling them maxis. That was the origin story between, or how I started, using that term maxi. It was just someone goofing around in my chat for a WizKids unboxing show I did for them.
Yeah.
And it stuck. So I'm not sure about how others came across it, but that was my foray into the pun of it, if you will. So right now it's got a lot of...
I'm pretty sure I learned it from you.
I learned it from you.
I learned it from you.
Everything I learned it from you. So right now there's some flashback on this because it's still wet, but you now have like this dark, warm, brownish colored hair, which is really very pretty. I like it. Okay, so I'll let that dry, and then I think
Secret 30K. I made that joke earlier. I feel validated now. You
may have heard me even say it because I've called things on here a maxi before too. It's definitely floated around.
Listen, if here on this Friday I can offer you validation, then that is my pleasure. I may miss things in chat because you know what, tiny mini, but I do my best.
Okay, so Balefire, so on and so forth. The whole thing about your brother-in-law with the sculpture of Baby Yoda with the rock's face. Our darling friend DJ Knight, the creator of Desmond.
Hey, DJ.
You need to go find his is it on his Instagram account or his Twitter account? One of those accounts he had shared his foray into 3D printing and the terrors he was creating with the rock's face. Okay.
I'm gonna have to go look this up.
You do.
I am excited.
You do. All right, so let's go back to this dress and we're going to break out the bloody red and we're just going to dry blood. No, we're going to dry brush bloody red onto the dress. Good grief. Oh, yeah, it's a stuff of nightmares. This whole like the rock getting transformed into various things. Like I want to say, I think DJ took like an octopus, like an articulated octopus 3D print, and he put the rock's head on top of where the octopus's head is gonna be.
Oh,
was that DJ or was that someone else? I know I have seen it. It is scary, disturbing. Like, I mean, that's Cthulhu level.
Yeah, what I'm picturing is from Toy Story. That
kind of
amalgamation. The spider, the mechanical spider legs with the baby doll head. Like, that's vibe. What I picture.
It has that total vibe, except it's the rock's face. Yep, not wrong.
That's kind of amazing. I'm kind of here for it.
It's terrifying and cool all at once. It's just kind of like, I want to look away, but I can't look away.
I feel a little bad for the Rock because he is a handsome person.
I know, right?
All right, you said we're dry brushing red
on the scarlet red areas.
On the scarlet red, okay.
Yes.
I once again, apparently your instructions are staying in my head just long enough for me to go, you've forgotten the instructions. Stop that.
That's okay. Really, no, it's totally okay. I'm not even worried about that.
Good, because that's apparently my Friday is things are going to stay in my head until they are needed.
The Friday fog is
gone.
real.
Oof.
Friday brain fog. It's out there. It happens. I am going to recommend you be careful when dry brushing around the hands, though.
Mm-hmm.
Small, controlled, steady strokes are far better than rah! Oh, and they called it the Rocktopus. Thank you, Legendary Ninetales. I think I broke you. Oh, God.
Oh my God.
This is where we live now.
I need to find this video. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Oh God. I snorted and now I am just, okay.
I am living for this reaction. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I'm here for it.
Thank you, DJ Knight and your chat and The Rock and everybody for bringing me this joy. The Rocktopus.
I totally forgot about that.
That is perfect and wrong in all of the correct ways. I'm so
it's
happy
the
right
very
now.
best of ways to be so disturbing.
Okay.
And breathe.
All right. I'm just glad that I didn't drop the mini.
Fair. Yep, that's fair.
Okay. If you're just joining us, yeah. We're actually, there won't be anybody joining us from the game because unfortunately the game is still down. But if you are just joining us because you happen to follow us on the Twitch, welcome.
Hi.
Oh, jeez.
I broke Lauren. Or rather, we broke Lauren. Legendary Ninetales and I broke Lauren. I said when he wrote out loud what they wrote out loud.
But it's, you know what? It's a joyful broken. It really is. It's so good.
I think we needed that, honestly.
Yeah. I just don't. I'm done. I'm okay. I'm done.
Game over, man. Game over.
Yes,
right,
go ahead and clip it. That's fine. Listen, this will not be the first time, nor will it be the last time that I have been clipped crying on stream because of something being so funny. So that's just fine. It's fine. But look. Oh, there we go. That works a little bit better. I will get close-up pictures on my camera for the socials later.
Okay, so that takes care of the dress. Obviously, we haven't done the corset yet. Okay, so now let us do the corset, which will be ultramarine blue. Let's go for a nice jewel tones thing here.
Oh, I like that we're gonna. Nope, that's Ettercap. I like that we're gonna have bright colors in the dress.
It's me. I gotta do my colors.
I appreciate it though. I do.
Yeah.
I mean, just because this is, Dark is talking about the spells, not about the person. And just because you are doing necromantic fun does not mean that you can't be wearing bright colors. Newbie 13. It's fun to see someone other than Sean and Mars breaking each other. Happy Friday.
Welcome to Paint and Slay. You thought the slay meant monsters. No, it was each other.
No, it all me. All right, I need a smaller. There we go. Tiny brush. Yeah,
definitely. At least at the very least, edge around with a detail brush.
Yeah. Secret 30K pastel/rainbow goth is totally a thing. I saw a line of clothing that someone had posted on one of the social medias because it's Pride Month, and someone had been like, "Are you part of the LGBTQ plus community, but you're goth? Do you want to celebrate Pride, but you don't like rainbows? Here's a whole line of clothing for you." And it was basically, it was basically Pride clothing in blacks, and it was amazing.
Oh, cool.
Because not everybody is into wearing tie-dye rainbows.
Right. Yeah. It's totally valid. Okay, this is going to be fun, getting the back of the corset under the cape.
Oh, yeah. I haven't gone there yet.
To boldly go where no brush has gone before.
Yes. So Loopy 79, unfortunately, the servers are down at the moment. We've got the devs are aware and are hard at work on it. And I promise as soon as I hear anything from them, I will let you know. So that way you don't have to be constantly trying to restart the game. It is not you, it's the servers. And then Glockta 4, does anyone know when the server is down? Does any progress we make get checked in when the server comes back? Yes. I'm going to try to explain this, but my understanding is what happens when you log in is the game checks when the last time you were online was, and then what time it is now, and does the calculations. So you will still be getting offline progress at this very moment. You're not really losing anything except, the active play. But you're hanging out here watching as we talk about ridiculous minis.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that will help.
Watching us break each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why it
Watching.
kept getting spotty. Now I learned. There's a tab on the back of the cape that sits into the skirt to keep it in place from falling too much. So every time I'm like, I thought I painted that white spot. No, it's just the cape keeps going back into that insert and taking the paint back off.
That makes sense.
Yep. So heads up for anyone who's painting and it's like, why does that spot keep showing up? It's because of what the cape is doing.
Iced Lance, my problem is it crashed right after I finished a run. It should come back and you should get credit for it. Now, if for some reason it comes back and something's gone wrong, then go ahead and put in a support ticket when things come back on. But you should get credit for that. It should remember, you should be okay. But I understand the concern, especially if you just finished something, an adventure or variant that you were hard at work on. I totally get it. But yeah, you should be okay. We all just need to be patient. I looked over and I just saw a lot of, okay, we're restarting this and a lot of PHP, but they're doing things.
There's stuff.
Things and stuff.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to go back in, and while things dry, I'm going to paint that diadem around the top of the head with gunmetal.
Okay.
Again, definitely use your detail brush on this one.
Yeah, this will be like the tiniest of detail brushes.
Getting yelled at by a cat.
Rough Rider 1995. Question: will you two be venturing to Victoria for Extra Life, maybe a staff mass mini painting session? I don't know yet personally. That's a TBD. There's still I gotta get to Gen Con and PAX West first, and Big Bad Con.
Yeah, I gotta get through the castle and PAX West and Gamehole, and then I will know. Then I will know what my November looks like.
That being said, I'm gonna try. Yeah, it's and it's way easier for me to say that than V, because for me trying is driving a couple of hours and getting on a really nice ferry, and for V it's like an entire continent.
Literal planes, trains, and automobiles.
But I'm definitely gonna try, and I do like the idea of doing a mini painting session.
That could be fun. Yeah.
That could be a lot of fun, especially if there's minis that we have a bunch of, that a whole bunch of people can come on in, and I just bring all of my paints and brushes and go, here we go.
Right.
Although I know I'm not the only one. We're not the only ones who paint minis there, so I wouldn't be the only one bringing stuff. Yeah.
I could even just let everyone know who wants to participate. This is what you all need to get. And then see if I can get some paint sent to the office. We have ways of making this work. Okay, so that takes care of the diadem.
I'm just finishing that up now. I'm just having...
Are we getting storm? What is going on here? Lighting is getting weird right now. Hi.
Hi.
Rory's yelling at me. She's all... I don't know if the microphone's picking it up, but she's going...
Well, maybe there is a...
All right, well, that takes care of that. What is this doing? so then we should be okay to go back in and dry brush the corset with Displacer Beast. Carefully, obviously.
Okay.
Oh, I love this color blue.
Yeah, Displacer Beast and Black Pudding, and there's a couple of others that have like
Yeah.
that really pretty blue undertone that is just. Where are you? That's ultramarine. Where did my Displacer Beast? There you are.
I think I'm actually going to take a round brush and use that as the dry brush technique as opposed to a flat brush because this is some tight area through here.
Yeah.
It'll just be easier to work a round brush through here, I think. Trial and error. We shall see.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the way to go. All right. I'm wondering.
Block the Force says, I was asking because my active game is still progressing, so I was curious if it will take precedence over the offline progress. I think so. Grain of salt with that answer. I will just once again say, if you encounter problems, once the servers are totally back, do not be shy about submitting a support ticket to let us know so we can fix things.
Okay, so I'm not liking that.
Okay.
That is
That's
not
good. I have
showing
not
up
started
as much
yet.
as I want to quite yet. So let me see if Ettercap's a better deal.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try Ettercap. I think that might work a little bit better.
Okay, where did my Ettercap go?
And if this doesn't work, then that's where we go into some other colors to lighten it up even further. But I'm thinking it should work.
Oh, are
yes,
you? Is this
the
going to
blues
be
are just too close?
Well, Ettercap is now also giving me the
not coagulation, is it?
Oh, there we go. Now, fortunately, this one didn't spurt all over the place. It just needed a poke with a pin.
It didn't go with bees all over the place?
It didn't go.
Spurt.
Okay.
I need to shake that up more. Barefoot monkey. Etcap, Ettercap, Etiscat. Etiscap. Nice.
Most of the cap.
Mm-hmm.
We're not done yet. Yeah, the Seeker, if your game is up, awesome. I'm gonna say for folks who are waiting,
Please hold.
I'm waiting for that moment in where the devs tell that we can say stuff on in the Discord.
Channels.
Usually when we can tell the Discord, hey, you're good to go. That's when I feel, because last thing I want to do is tell folks, hey, we're good to go, and then have it not be good to go. Because that's even more frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is Ettercap is definitely it's light enough that it's showing up, but it's not quite as bright, but that's okay.
Well, that's just it. I didn't want it to be a bright blue against it. I wanted something a bit more faded and muted. Hi, Rory, that hurt.
Oof.
She dug her claws into my knee on that launch. We were joking about no swearing. Like,
yeah, but there's also that moment of, if a cat decides to use your leg as a scratching post,
right?
That's an understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hard part I saw Trimji is saying, I'm glad I don't work for C&E as a software developer. I feel their pain. It can be difficult because, when things go wrong, there's a lot of people who are looking at it. But it's also, I mean, I can't speak for them, especially right now when things are probably very, very, very stressful. But it's fun to work in video games, I'm not gonna lie. I think all software developers have that same problem. It's just sometimes the software is much more public than others. And so it's you get that added pressure, but that's what community managers are for. And folks like us on stream to be like, we know you're awesome.
We had it.
It'll get back up.
Exactly. Okay, so now here. You gonna be like that?
Always.
She's like, Mother! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Your cat's getting noise gated, but watching your face is fun. And you going, oh my goodness.
She's just so mad about it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go back to the ultramarine blue. We're gonna put that onto the cape. I'm sorry, she's being utterly ridiculous off screen. She was just taking the box to the crystal dragon, and the flaps open, and to get my attention, she just went on the flappy. Like, it worked. It's clever.
She's become a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're taking the ultramarine blue and adding it to
the cape.
Okay, the whole cape.
The whole cape. But we're going to be dry brushing this with hex lichen, so it's going to take on this cool purplish blue color.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, still keeping an eye on things.
Yep.
I promise everyone, I'll let you know when we got the official all clear. For now, though, you know, hang out with us, painting minis. Sean will be back at 2:00 to continue work on the D&D Lego, the Lego set from D&D. That's the tavern. And which reminds me that Luke and I still need to work on that tavern. We have it. We had that set. And the original plan had been actually to so our birthdays are right next to each other, basically. And we had very, very, very good friends give us the tavern as like a dual gift for the two of us of like, here you go, which is amazing. Yeah. And then so we were totally gonna paint it. We had a whole day off plan. We were gonna paint it, put it together. We're gonna put it together. We had a whole day of like, this is the day that we're both celebrating our birthdays, yay! And this is not a complaint because we were very, very happy to do this. We went for a nice long walk because it was pretty outside, and then we came home and had really good food and watched Dune 2 because the second version had just come out. The second part had just come out, and then we took a nap, and then it was too late to start building it because it would have been one of those like, we're gonna get an hour or two into this, and then we're gonna have to stop. And so we have not yet found a time to start working on it. And so it's sitting in our bedroom in the box, looking all pretty. and yeah, so watching Sean go through and build it, I have a little bit of envy of like, oh, I gotta catch up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And I know Sean appreciates all of the help that he's been getting from chat. Because I think he said this is his first Lego build, if I remember correctly.
Oh, wow. That's an ambitious first.
Right? I mean, we talk about with minis of like, hey, go, you know, what mini should people start with? The one that makes you the most excited.
Yeah.
I guess Lego is the same way. What Lego set should you put together first?
There you go.
Whichever one you are most excited about that you can afford, because some
Yeah.
of them are not cheap, but they're
Oh, good Lord,
gorgeous.
no. Oh, shoot. I got some on the dress. Hold on. One moment,
Let's
please.
see. People on Discord saying they're back in. Okay. I'm gonna
Okay.
say, if you have been waiting, go ahead and give getting into the game a try. Because it looks like, well, I haven't gotten the official all clear yet. It does look like
Progress is being made.
progress has been made, and the folks, the devs are saying, yeah, it looks like things are back up. So let's see what happens. So give us yeah, give us the as you all try to log into the game, let us know. Let us know in chat how things are going. And then also I want to know what adventure are you jumping back into? Because there's a lot going on. And meanwhile, I'm trying to not get blue all over her face.
Oh, yeah. This is. Ironically, this is still the easiest way to approach it.
Oh yeah. I don't think there's always gonna be that moment of like, oh,
Yeah.
we've painted this and now we got to paint this other thing that's really
Yep.
close. It's always gonna be. Let's see. Yeah, Seeker 30K. I love that Sean started his Lego journey at like the collegiate level. Yeah.
Right?
Let's see.
But he and everyone else is having fun with it, and that's the best part.
Art Dismissive wants to know, how many months has it been since you had any downtime for the servers? Even AAA titles usually have monthly or more frequent maintenance and planned downtime. Etsini rolls out builds without missing a beat most of the time is amazing for your size. Well, thank you. I'll definitely pass that along. We did do a hey, the game is going to be down for several hours so that we can do all sorts of server things.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, last year? Towards
God,
the beginning of last year,
time
because
is
I
a
remember,
puddle.
yeah, because I remember what we did was there was a couple of streams that we
Yeah.
had where basically like, hey, I know you can't, like, we warned everybody ahead of time as much as we could and put out alerts and things, and then we did a couple of streams to talk about like, oh, here's some fun stuff coming up
Right.
to
It
kind
was,
of,
yeah.
and then Sean actually played a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3, since at that point we
Mm-hmm.
had several of
So it
the
was a year
Baldur's
ago
Gate 3.
because March, right?
Think so.
Yeah, Lightning Hawk just said they upgraded the servers last year. They being us. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm literally reading as I'm speaking.
I mean, hey.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah, that was the
so
last time we had a
there
planned
we go.
multiple hour downtime. Um,
All right, so that takes care of the one part of the cloak which we want to dry.
yep, I'm just looking for any spots
Oh,
that
yeah.
I missed.
No, of course. Did I not? There are the boots.
There's the boots.
So we're going to do the boots in black as well.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Legendary Ninetail says, I'm good now doing Nova's variant quests, earning favor so I can. I started with the free epic deal when the free epic deal was going on. Oh, very cool. Yeah, Nova's an excellent choice for a.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's really no bad choices, but Nova is
Nova's fun.
the whole Erois crew is super fun. Trimbita says, yeah, it's back, but very laggy. Things are waking up. Things are slowly waking up.
And that might be why they haven't announced it on our side officially to,
Yeah.
things are up and running. They're still figuring out a few bits and pieces.
Okay, boots in black, you said.
Yep.
Boots in black and boots in black and boots in black, and that's gun metal. Where's my black? There's my black. Yeah, as someone who has been a community manager for a non-insignificant amount of time, it is always best to wait until you are 100% sure everything is working again before you announce anything, because that's just asking for trouble otherwise. So yeah, they'll always be very, very, very cautious before giving the all clear.
Ooh, let's do that. I don't know why the boots are requiring so much concentration.
Oh, excellent. Glockta says, to answer the question I asked earlier, my live progress was kept over the offline progress.
Great.
Excellent.
Glad to hear that.
IBM call 10957 sips coffee patiently. That is an excellent response.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit back and enjoy having a moment.
It's your coffee break moment. Ta-da!
I think the longest... I'm trying to think of the longest outage. So between working for Idle Champions and working for D&D Beyond, I'm trying to think... I don't know if this is the longest outage, but the one that I remember the most... So like many other companies, D&D Beyond doesn't close because there were always people watching servers and things.
Right.
But for the Christmas New Year's holiday would close down and be a skeleton crew. And it was literally, we had made it through like all 2 weeks. No problems. Everything going great over the holidays. No issues. And then the Saturday of the day before we came back, everything just went.
Yep.
And we were so close. It was so close to making it through the entire holiday. And I was community manager, so I had the unfortunate job of having to ping people during their vacation, which is never fun, but there's, that's just what happens sometimes. Unfortunately, it got fixed relatively quickly. Because, the last thing you want is people who had just gotten all kinds of D&D fun stuff over the holidays not be able to play D&D. But yeah, that was... Lord. No one ever wants to be the person who has to ping someone and say, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
But... All right, I think I got all the boots.
Tremutius is saying, I'm a software developer myself. I once got called on Christmas Day. Each. Yep. That happens.
Nobody wants it, but
Yeah. All right, so while the boots dry, we're gonna go to Hex-like, and we're gonna use that as our dry brush on the cape to kind of give it this cool two-tone look.
Yay, purple!
It's purple, yum.
Glockta says, I used to work for a manager who insisted all major maintenance be done between Christmas and New Year's since most staff took time off. I think that, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That probably depends on the type of, like what the company was and what you were doing. It always, it's never fun to come in on a holiday, but at least maybe that was a scheduled thing. So people were not surprised by it. Like,
right.
All right. Here we go. Purple on the cape.
Yep. And I'm using a larger brush for the bigger portion of the cape, and then I'll go into a small round brush to get around the shoulders.
Yeah, same. Oh, I love this purple.
It's a pretty purple. I don't know if my mic is picking this up, but my stomach is making this hysterical sound right now.
I have not heard it, but
Okay.
yeah.
Like,
Are you
I
hungry?
remembered, no, I remembered to eat this time. I know last week I forgot to eat lunch. I actually remembered to eat lunch this time. Although we are cresting into about dinner time in my area, so,
Yeah.
not unheard of. But I gotta jump into a design call after this show. So food will have to wait until later.
Oh, hopefully you can like grab like a quick snack or something in between.
Nope. It's
Mm.
literally jump off, quickly clear off my desk, get everything set back up, and open up a document and jump into a meeting.
Well, and yeah, that is. We love doing this show, and it is super fun, but it does take a lot of clean up and
It does.
put together and tear down. Like that is.
There's prep to it.
Yeah. Most other shows you can get prepped in like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Idle Insights, we have a 30-minute call time. But that's because we constantly have new people coming on, so that way if there's any issues, we have plenty of time to figure it out. But most of the time we can get stuff ready in 10-15 minutes are usually good. But this one takes a little bit.
Just a little bit more time, yeah. Not complaining, because then we get to do this and paint and chat with everyone.
Okay. Sean made the announcements as Rough Rider. Yep.
Woohoo.
So if announcements have been made, I think we're good to go. So yes, if you have not tried to jump into Idle Champions, because you've been one of the wonderful patiently waiting people, go ahead and give it a try.
Yeah. Okay, so then there is the cape now. Cool.
Yeah.
So then,
we're so close.
We are.
I didn't realize until just now how much we've already done.
Yeah, we've got a good chunk of this already done. Okay, so now we are going to go back and we're going to mix a little bit of black and Ettercap together for the dry brushing of the boots.
Okay. I got plenty of black, but I don't remember which of these blue is Ettercap. So I'm going to put some more Ettercap down on my plate. Which is covered in blue splotches, but there you go.
Actually, I'm going to need more Ettercap. Where are you? There you are.
Ettercap. Oh, Lightning Hawk. The Chiron familiar is so cute, right?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I love Chirons. They're so cool.
Oh, my gosh. I gotta say, the Chiron that came, the 1E Chiron that came in the 50th anniversary booster brick.
Yeah.
It's a pretty mini.
Yeah.
It's a really nice looking little mini. I posted it up on Twitter over the weekend? Last weekend?
I'll go take a look.
I got both the 5e version in the blind boxes and the 1e. And I'm a fan of the 1e way more than I am of the 5e version. Just from the lines and everything. It's so pretty. It's got like this flowing mane and it's just like I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
All right,
so once you get this mixed up to like this purplish gray, dry brush that on the boots.
Okay.
Carefully. just to help bring out some of that texture.
Sirens are, I have had the pleasure of using them as the summon.
Oh.
Orkira has summoned a Chiron twice in her career.
Oh, wow.
Because there is a spell. I don't think it's summon planar beings, but it might be. It's a summon spell that is essentially you summon an emissary of your deity who comes, and then you negotiate with them to do a thing.
Cool.
And the nice thing, and in both cases, Orkira asked for a Chiron. The first time just asking for any old Chiron because she needed a creature that could plane shift. And the cool thing about Chiron is not only are they like powerful and celestial and pretty, but they have like a cool suite of spells and abilities.
They do. Yeah.
And a ridiculous fly speed, like 120-foot movement speed. It's ridiculous and awesome.
Yeah.
And so she got a Chiron the first time, and then in D4, when we were preparing for the final big awesome battle, we had already encountered a Chiron that we had helped escape from Manchun's lair. Spoiler alert. Oh well. And so she used it to call that specific gray ooze. She used it to call for that specific Chiron to be like, hey, so we're trying to save the universe. Would you help? And the cool thing about the spell, Free Swag 33, yes, the server should be back up. You should be able to log in and enjoy the game again. But the cool thing about the spell is, like, yes, you summon a creature that is there to help and wants to help, but you still have to negotiate.
Right.
You have to, it's a transaction. Gray Ooze is going on the spell effect. Okay.
Yep, we're just going to do a light dry brush on the spell effect to help pop out those higher details.
So yeah, she summoned that Chiron, which we successfully negotiated, and basically the negotiation was, hey, because the Chiron was like, yeah, we know what you're doing and we want to help because, you know, we like this universe. It's where all of our stuff is. And so they made a fairly easy deal, because oftentimes what they want is like, they'll take money, they'll take magic items, but they'll also take favors. And so Orkira basically said, help us save the universe, and then I'll come and help. Well, you know, you come call on me later and I'll help you out when we have a universe that has been saved. So at some point, who knows if it'll ever happen. It may never, but if it does, it'll be fun. We've talked about doing a one-shot or a small little tiny, like 2 or 3 episode campaign in where it's all right, the Chiron has come calling. Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
The Chiron calls.
Yep.
Okay, so what we're going to do at this point is
bask in our glory of how awesome this mini
looks.
No,
my paint's drying really fast, so my paint's actually ready for a coating of a wash. This is where I'm going to bring out the Drakenhof from Citadel. Drakenhof Nightshade. It's this really pretty blue, like ominous blue, that I thought could be cool for the spell effect.
Yeah, whereas I gotta make a so which blue would you recommend?
Ultramarine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shu 2122, yes, the game was down about an hour ago for a little while, but the team has it back up and going. If for some reason you are still having problems with your game, please go ahead and put in a support ticket so that folks can try to get that fixed.
Yeah.
Boy TV35. Hey, so we're trying to prevent the universe from blowing up. Would you be willing to help if I told you that you're part of it? Yeah. I mean, it made the negotiation pretty
Oh, I'm
darn
sure.
easy. I mean, Chiron are also very, 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 very lawful good beings. So,
Mm-hmm.
or Kira was more than happy to leave the I will do something for you at a later date wide open, because
Right.
the chances that the Chiron was going to ask her to help do something that she wasn't going to want to do anyway are slim to none. So,
Yeah.
we're doing the wash everywhere
On the entire spell effect. Yep.
on the spell effect. Okay,
On
cool.
the spell effect, not the mini, the spell effect only. You know, steering into that whole dark spellcaster thing.
Yeah.
So I've gotten that wash around the spell casting effect. What I'm going to do is take a paper towel and just let my brush wick away excess and then blot it off on the paper towel. Because this is one of those swirly whirly spell effects that loves to puddle. Let's just make sure it doesn't get to be overwhelming when you do that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's funny how the camera shows off the puddles better than the actual visual I have with the naked eye.
Yeah. My camera's definitely not going to show this off well, but I'll get a good picture of it for the socials.
So this gives us a neat like smoky blue effect.
Ooh.
Which I really like. And then we're gonna let this dry.
And meanwhile, Seeker 30K has a question about actually the spell effect. Do you have to do anything special to paint to the let me try that whole sentence
To the
again.
paint. Mm.
Yeah. Do you have to do anything special to the paint to make it translucent for the spell effects?
Yes, you can take, because there's various things you can use. Ooh, I'm talking with my hands in front of the camera. When it comes to the translucent type of miniatures, the clear plastic, my go-tos to tint them are either inks or washes, because those are basically very thinned out pigments in terms of suspension. So you still get the color without going opaque with the paint. You can use paints like, you know, this scarlet red, but you're going to have to thin this out until it's almost like a broth consistency. And then it will tint it. But because of the way this is made, like it still works as a wash, but it may not be as impactful of a tint, because you're taking the pigments in here and floating them out even more. And the suspension isn't quite as balanced as it is in a wash or ink, which is why I like using the washes. I like using the inks. But what I always do with these is that dry brushing thing I did first. That's for a reason. That's to help some of the color adhere even more so and really make that section pop out more. So it's sort of a way to enhance the tinting as you go along. It's a little trick that we did with the, if you want to see it in action, honestly, the Flameskulls, what we did last week, that is the best way to watch how I like to paint these, so you can still keep the transparency. We also did animated acid breaths for both fire and animated breaths for both fire and acid. And those are another great way of showing off how to do these clear plastic miniatures and really enhancing their details. So we're going to let that dry. And what we're going to do for the base, because we're getting to the base.
Yeah.
Yay! We're going to take black and mix it with ghoul flesh.
Okay.
Where'd my black go? My black keeps taking a walk on me. There it be.
Black. And where's my ghoul flesh? Where have I stashed the flesh of the ghoul?
The ghoul.
Nope.
And we are going to bring in the other Flameskull at this point, because this is the base that we need to paint.
Okay.
So I'm doing
the same base.
Yeah, they're getting the same base. That's why I was like, we're going to hold off on that. So basically I did 2 parts black to 1 part ghoul flesh.
Oh. Okay.
And it's just going to make this nice mid-tone gray for us. Which I'll swatch.
Okay.
Like that. Like a pewter gray. And we're just going to get that painted onto the bases now.
Pewter that's actually, I know we usually go for food metaphors, but pewter is actually a very accurate description. of this
Yeah.
color, I think.
It's not quite a
Okay.
slate because it's not as blue as a slate would be. But I'm going for just a nice classic stone base on these. Kind of to keep with the color palette we have going on.
Yeah. Legendary Ninetales. I dyed my hair blue and could barely see it in real life, but on cam it looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously I have dark hair. Um and yeah, red or blue, um unless unless you do something, if you just put it right on, it doesn't always show up very well. I did once go and have it professionally done, which did mean bleaching, which
Mm-hmm.
is not good for your hair, but it was a special occasion. I was dressing up for a big D&D thing. And so it was an afternoon of getting my hair bleached and then dyed. And it was fun to see my hair that vibrant blue.
Uh-huh.
It was definitely one of those, every time I passed myself in the mirror,
Double take,
I had a
man.
little bit of a, yeah, because it
Yeah.
was very, very vibrant, which is what I wanted. But also I was just not used to it. And then because my hair grows like a weed, and
Mm-hmm.
I was down in California, while we weren't really outside very much, I was outside enough that it basically bleached back out of my hair
Oh
pretty
no.
quickly. It worked for what I needed, but it was fun. But it was very funny that, like, by the time I got home, I dyed it the week before I left, so that I had
Uh-huh.
time for it to like set and wash,
Right. Yeah,
any of
yeah.
the excess and all that. Get down there. By the time I was flying back home, it was it had gone from like a vibrant blue to a very, very light blue. And a week later, I was basically a bleach blonde.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I have some pictures from that summer that are me with weird wild hair. But like
Oh,
I
but
said,
it's
fortunately
fun.
my hair grows pretty quick, so it wasn't like that for very long. My favorite part of the entire thing, I had done it because uh as a professional orchestral musician, there isn't much that happens during the summer. The summer is usually a pretty dead time. This was in the summer where the next gig I had on my calendar wasn't until like September.
Gotcha.
And the reason I say that is because the classical music world is still very stodgy. And so
Mm-hmm.
showing up with bright blue hair would have been frowned upon, which sucks,
Yeah. That
but
would be a thing,
is
huh?
the thing. So I literally did it because I'm like, oh, by the time gigs start up again, I'll be back. Gunmetal.
Yep. Gunmetal. So we're going to take gunmetal and we're going to carefully dry brush that on lightly on the spell effect just to give it some shimmer.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Uh,
Very, very light-handed though.
and then the irony of that whole situation, not just that, like, all right, by the time I got home, my hair was way different again. Literally, while I was at the event, I got a call to do a gig the next weekend at a church, no less.
Of course.
And so I told the person, I'm like, listen, I'd be more than happy, and I can absolutely do what you're talking about, and it all sounds good. I need to warn you. And I explained very quickly. I'm like, I'm doing an event here in California, and my hair is blue right now. Are you okay with that? And fortunately, in Seattle, where the heck is my gunmetal? Where did you go? I use dark flesh tone. There you are. Fortunately, in Seattle, this is a very interesting place to live, and the response from the person who was hiring me was, listen, we don't care what color hair you have, as long as you can play the music, we're happy. I'm like, cool, love it.
Ta-da. All right, so that
Ta-da.
gives a little glow to the smoky effect.
Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
Da-da-da. So that leaves us with a couple steps that are left. And that's going to be dry brushing the base, which mine is still too damp.
Yeah. I'm pretty
And
sure
then
mine's
also
gonna be too
doing
damp.
a black wash, or an umber wash on the figure herself. So I think what we'll do is next week we can always do that, like sort of start off finishing up the Dark Spellcaster and then going into the Silver Dragon, if that sounds good to you, Lauren.
We can do that, or I mean, if
Or we
it's
could
just
do
a
it off
wash.
screen. It's just honestly, it's just literally taking the ghoul flesh and doing more ghoul flesh to black and then dry brushing the base to bring out more texture, and then doing a wash of umber on the figure herself and the base, and that'll take care of it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, if you want to do a fresh start and just do the Silver Dragon, that's essentially what you would have to do for those of you painting at home to finish this up.
I think that is an easy enough thing to do
Okay.
off camera. That let's make life easy, because it's already going to be a little
Gotcha.
bit of a challenge to get everything to fit with the Silver Dragon.
Yeah. Oh God, that's right. I need to figure out the camera stuff.
Yep.
I know what I'm doing early next week.
Yep. We both need to figure out our setup for a mini that is not necessarily going to be easy to fit right here.
Yep, that's gonna be a thing. All right, cool. So, as my brain just went like, yeep, because oh, that's right. I need to figure out a whole different setup, because if I'm trying to paint this, well, not this, but something this size. Let me clarify. Something this size. Yeah, I gotta play around.
And even bigger than that, because like you said, the wings are a little more.
The wings are bigger. Yep. Anyways,
but that's a next week problem.
That's next week problem for Vee. So don't forget, it is June, and we have our fantastic Worm Slayer skins going on right now. Check it out in our in-game shop. This week just launched. We have Nova and Korth, who have been launched. Right? That's Korth. Why did my brain just go? Wow.
Because we've got like 130 champions, and names are hard.
My brain just went, is that dog or Egbert? I'm like, I just created a love child for those two.
That'd be an interesting champion.
But
no, you are correct. Champion. That is Korth and Nova.
Wow. So make sure to check out all the cool Worm Slayer skins that you can find in the in-game shop. It is also Friday, which means it is the weekend, which means if you signed up for a newsletter, it means that you've probably gotten the Health and Happiness weekend newsletter, along with a free gold banded chest. And if you haven't gotten this newsletter, it's probably because you're new here. Hi, welcome. Great to see you. Make sure you log into the game and you sign up for the newsletter. And right away, you're going to get a newsletter to give you Hitch, which if you're also, again, new to the game, that's another champion for you. And once a week, we'll send you our weekend buffs with a themed free gold chest of some sort or another. And we will also reach out to you through our newsletters for some important news. But that's like once in a blue moon type of thing, not all the time. So just keep that in mind. It's worth doing. Honestly, it's worth doing because, free stuff. And then don't forget, this is your last weekend to take advantage of our Dragon Down event that's been running for June, and you can unlock yourself some Esmeralda and Duke Older Ravengard, along with some fantastic other Flex champions. If you want to find out who they are, go to our website, idlechampions.com, check out our news and blogs section, and there'll be a lovely post that gives you everything you can need to know for our Dragon Down event. And thank you so much to Gabe for pulling questions for us and putting them into the document and being just an awesome moderator all around. And thank you to chat for hanging out with us and our silliness that was today. And we will see you next week with a big old Dargan. Not this one, but something that's even slightly bigger than this.
So big Dargan time.
Big Dargan. Dargan down. Dargan up. Dargan go. Dargan. All right. Dargan. Bye.
Dargan. Bye. Dargan.